Faults come from irrigation projects involving field current ridge work. Terrain Pilot offset a selected field ridge function. Let's work through the steps.
Open Terrain Pilot, tap New, and edit the job name at the top. Look at this diagram. Point A refers to the start and point B to the end. The line between them represents our construction path, just like in this model. In practice, field ridges often have a natural slope, but a specific grade is rarely required. Therefore, we don't provide slope guidance. Our assistance focuses solely on keeping the line straight and the elevation correct. To do this using, for example, the left bucket tip, place the tip at the start location, select left bucket tip in the app, and its 3D coordinates will be auto-logged. If your work site stretches over a long distance and it's impractical to move the excavator around, you can also collect data using a satellite receiver. That's what we call an RTK. Just remove the RTK and place it at the starting point. Since we're not using a surveying pole here, leave the pole height at the default value of 0. If you are using a pole, enter the actual pole height. Then click Survey. The 3D coordinates of this point will be automatically recorded. Back at the main menu, if you've already saved points in the point library, you can use them when setting up a new field job. Just go to Point Library, tap the point you want, and set it as your start or end point. Let's use the left bucket tip as an example. Place the left bucket tip at the start and end points. Select it at each position to capture the 3D coordinates, then tap Next. Now choose a mode, Build Fill Amount or Ridge Top Height. If you choose Build Fill Amount, it means the elevation data you collected is the original elevation before any filling. Here, enter the required build fill amount for point A and point B. Enter the amounts, and the slope and height difference between A and B are auto-calculated. The diagram above updates to match. Tap Next, then enter the left and right widths from the center line. If you prefer using the edge line, simply enter 0 on one side and the total width on the other. Adjust as needed. If you choose Ridge Top Height, it means the elevations at your start and end points are already filled to the required design height. Then, simply place your left, center, or right bucket tip, or the RTK itself, at the start and end points. Tap the chosen method to capture the data. You can also pick points from the point library, as long as they were recorded at the final design elevation. Back to Build Fill Amount mode. As an example, we've already collected and set the parameters here. Tap Start. Watch, the display above now shows the overdig and underdig values. As the excavator moves, the cut fill elevation adjusts automatically. The middle view shows a side view of the excavator by default. Think of it as a reference viewpoint, like someone watching you work from the starting point toward the end point. You can also tap the Settings button to switch views, such as to the excavator's front view. However, the middle view isn't the main reference. Focus instead on the overdig-underdig display at the top and the bucket tip distance from the edge at the bottom. Here's how the edge guides work. Right bucket tip to left edge shows the distance to the ridge's left edge. It reads 0 when the tip reaches that edge. Left bucket tip to right edge works the same way for the opposite side. This lets you align the bucket precisely along both edges. You can also swipe left on the auxiliary display bar below to choose other prompts you find useful.
Now we can start working quickly and efficiently.